We started the new Fictioneers, I think, with the first PulpFest, and it's been a reasonably successful program for us. Fictioneers was a name that pulp writers called themselves, and we just borrowed it. New Fictioneers are people who are writing today's pulp fiction. Stories inspired by the great stuff in the pulps. And our first reader of the 2015 PulpFest is Jason Scott Aiken. Jason discovered the pulps through Del Rey's Howard books, right?
Yep.
That's what he told me, at least. That's what I wrote. And from there he went and started reading Lovecraft, Clark Ashton Smith, Seabury Quinn, and other greats from C.L. Moore. Other greats from Weird Tales, and he collects Weird Tales in mostly replicas, right?
Reprints, yep.
Reprints. They're a lot cheaper that way, as we all know. Jason has 3 stories that have appeared in the last couple of months, sword and sorcery type stuff. Kind of Howard through Lovecraft through Clark Ashton Smith, kind of, sort of. And that there's a woman sword person like Gerald of Jory. He is going to be reading the Sword of, is it Lomar?
Yep, Lomar.
The Sword of Lomar from Swords Against Cthulhu. And, you know, afterwards I'll be glad to take your comments and sign books and sell books. I was going to bring down a book to, we have those door prizes. I have some books from Chaosium. If you hang out till the end, I'll try to come down and pawn one of them off on you, okay? So, Jason.
Thanks, thanks, Mike.
Sure thing.
Hello. Hi everyone, thanks for coming. As Mike said, my name's Jason Scott Aiken, and today I'm going to be reading from The Sword of Lomar. It's a prequel to H.P. Lovecraft's Polaris. And Lovecraft's Polaris, it was written in 1918, and it deals with a guy who's contemporary for that time. On the night of an aurora borealis, he looks up at it, and his consciousness is transmitted to around the North Pole in the past, roughly 20,000 BC, to the land of Lomar. And my story actually takes place right before the events of Lovecraft's story. And I'll read you The Sword of Lomar. The summer evening began like any other. I sat on my balcony overlooking the streets of Arkham with a cup of tea and a good book at my side. My brownstone home on High Street had a magnificent view of the city and the countryside to the north. The sight was worth the trouble of braving the stairs with my bad leg. At 75 years of age, I felt lucky to be moving around at all. It was only me in the house now. My husband had passed away 3 years prior, and the last of our children moved out many years ago. The visits to the balcony took a lot out of me, but they were what drove me throughout the day. I looked forward to them. When you have a bad leg, it takes more time to do even the most menial tasks, even with the aid of a cane. Once my cleaning and other chores around the house were finished, the time spent up there was my time to relax and read. To me, there's nothing like enjoying a book on a clear summer evening. I was reading The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orski, one of my favorites. This must have been my 3rd or possibly 4th reading of the novel. The hero of the story is billed as Sir Percy Blakeney, the titular Scarlet Pimpernel. However, in my opinion, the true hero is his wife, Marguerite St. Just. I was making great progress too, as the Scarlet Pimpernel is quite a page-turner. The warm night air and the stress on my eyes put me into a groggy state. I removed my spectacles and took a drink of tea. It was then that I observed an aurora dancing across the northern sky. I can't explain it, but for some reason, my gaze was drawn to Polaris, the pole star. I became transfixed by the celestial body as it began to glow in the night sky. My vision blurred, and a great chill washed over my body. I fought against it, but it was futile. The icy touch had an iron grip on me. I relaxed and allowed it to wrap me up as if it were a blanket. Then my vision went completely dark. Several seconds of silence followed. My vision and hearing returned, but not to the expected view of Arkham, Massachusetts. I stood on an icy plain with a legion of armored men at my back. A waning red moon hung sinisterly over us. We were facing down a horde of squat half-men wearing white animal skins, brandishing spears and daggers made of bone. I know how foolish this may sound, but this felt natural to me. I wasn't alarmed in the slightest. As a matter of fact, I was relishing in it. The body I inhabited was like a second skin, and I welcomed the feel of the cold air against my face. Dressed in bronze chainmail, I cut an imposing and desirable figure. I was no longer Agnes Lanigan of Arkham. I was Nuja of Lomar.